Hello, and welcome back to this IES Environmental Policy video series. This video is part of our wider collection of bite-sized videos, bringing environmental science insights into the world of policy in 10 minutes or less. As part of our first series on land and soil management, we're going to be looking again at the underappreciated natural system of soils, drawing on the policy report published by the IES back in October 2020. That report shares an important insight. Soil is a crucial resource, and we must appreciate it to avoid losing something so valuable to human existence. That means that if we're looking to build a brighter future, we have to start with strong foundations, and that means looking at the land we live on. But why is soil under threat? What can happen if we don't look after it? And how much risk is there for soil and the benefits it gives to human well-being? Let's jump straight into the first question by looking at soil in context. The ways that our society uses soil have the potential to bring about a number of unintended consequences, which put all the benefits soil provides at risk. Soil is often an afterthought, and the ways we interact with soil resources are often as side effects to some other activity. By using soil as a means to an end, rather than considering how we influence it directly, our actions often put soil at risk. Our farming, our land use, and how we manage our natural resources all create risks for the future sustainability of soils, which we need to carefully consider if we want to avoid threats like soil erosion, soil degradation, and the potential long-term threat of desertification. Soil is a finite and threatened resource. It forms at slow rates, and it can take hundreds of years to form just a few centimeters. In many areas, soil is being eroded far more quickly than it is being formed, and we are losing important soil resources, which put all the benefits soil provides at risk. Erosion happens when soil particles are detached and transported elsewhere, often by water and wind, which can also create a risk of sedimentation or reduced water quality. Erosion is typically caused by exposed soil being physically displaced by wind, by water carrying soil away through runoff, or through agricultural practices. During the harvesting process, soil can fasten onto crop roots or machinery, and erosion is often caused by intensive agricultural practices, such as inversion ploughing, overgrazing, or improper water management. There are many other ways that our actions can lead to the degradation of soil. When we build on top of soil, it can become sealed in, preventing it from performing many of its functions, and increasing the likelihood of runoff water, creating a greater risk of flooding and peak water flows. Soil can also be compacted by heavy machinery or livestock, reducing how porous it is, so that less water can be contained within. This can again lead to increased runoff water, less capacity to store water, and less room for plant roots to grow through the soil, directly affecting natural ecosystems. The crucial organic matter in soil can be lost as a result of cultivation and through the use of inorganic fertilizers, which can impair all the functions of soil and increase soil's vulnerability to erosion and further degradation. The same process also risks releasing carbon dioxide and reducing the yield of crops and how nutritious they are. In many places, soil ecosystems and biodiversity are being broken down, removing the microorganisms which support the functions of soil, as well as jeopardizing the organic matter content, which allows for the storage of carbon and the porosity of the soil for the storage of water. Soil can be contaminated by toxic elements or other pollutants, damaging biodiversity and polluting the groundwater which resides within soil. An example is salinization, where buildups of salt from irrigation water or coastal flooding can reduce the fertility of the land, causing it to become toxic to plants and increasing the long-term risk of desertification. Another risk is that soil can be subject to acidification, where it becomes too acidic, or nitrification, where it contains too much nitrogen, which can be caused by pollutants, fertilizers, or the draining of wetlands, and could lead to a reduction in the overall fertility and functionality of the soil. and potentially to the release of nitrogen-based emissions, with consequences for our air and our climate. With so many threats to the health and functions of our soil, we need to take more steps to protect these crucial resources. So, how can we adapt to prepare ourselves for these threats? What needs to change about environmental policy? And what can each of us do to raise awareness of the importance of environmentally friendly approaches to land and soil? We'll be answering those questions and more as we continue with this IES policy series on land and soil management. But if you want to get an inside track on the answers, you can read all about it in our recent policy report, Sustainable, Healthy and Resilient, Practice-Based Approaches to Land and Soil Management, which is available on the IES website. You'll find a link to the report in the details below, along with our social media and a link to the IES website. Make sure you follow us across platforms so that you're up to date with all our latest events, videos, and CPD opportunities. And remember to like the video, share it with friends and colleagues, and let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Join us again for another short video in our policy series on land and soil management. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.